one of the two best, if it's not the best testing of the year, is definitely Burgundy. If you are a Chardonnay or a Pinot Noir wine lover, is Burgundy and nothing else. Without a doubt, I've been testing wine for now 37 years, and I test a lot of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Nothing better than Burgundy. So now the question will be, why, Olivier, Burgundy is better than anything else? So it's all based in Burgundy with one small word called terroir. Okay, everybody talk about terroir in Burgundy. Everywhere in a word, you hear the word terroir. All right, so what is Burgundy? Very, very small, tiny wine region. We're talking about 70,000 acres of land, 75,000 acres, 70 miles long. So basically you take 1 hour from north to south. Is very, very, very tiny. That is number one. Number two, they do have 10 different type of soil. And now we are talking about Burgundy and terroir. Okay, the soil is the most important part of a quality of the wine because it's a direct nutrition to the vine. So you're going to ask me, who is responsible of the soil? Is 200 million years of non-stop movement of continent, ocean, fire, earthquake. Everything is on a movement, and that in Burgundy is absolutely unique because it's very, very, very tiny. So talking about that, I want to not wait too long because in Burgundy, one of the most important parts to enjoy a wine is the temperature of the wine. So you have two white wine now. They must be fresh, not totally cold. Is the way that we enjoying wine in France, especially Burgundy. So on your, I believe, right side, you should have the Chablis, and on the right side, you do have the Chassagne. Okay? So I repeat, right side, on your right side, Chablis. On your left side will be the Chassagne Montrachet. First one, Chablis. Where are we located? Burgundy is the most north part of the appellation. All right. Basically, is the south part of Champagne. All right. So what does it mean, north and south in Burgundy? More north, less sun. Okay. Very, very deep vine on this wine, especially the Lefebvre. So they get a lot of minerality, the soil from the soil, the vine from the soil. Okay? Because they don't have too much sun, less sugar, a little bit lower alcohol. On this Volnay Fèvre, the why I choose this one is because it's a very, very rich on the soil with limestone. So the combination between acidity, the grapes, okay, minerality, the soil, limestone, and not too much alcohol content gives something extremely lively. So I want you to, 1, look at the color, 2, smell it, 3, taste it. 1, 2, and 3. Like most of the wines that we are testing tonight, they are 100% organic and biodynamic. No pesticide, no herbicide, as low as possible sulfate. Already already looking at the color, very, I will say, green, yellow touch. But as soon as you smell it, right away you get to Burgundy. What do we smell here? What do you smell more than what I smell? What do you smell? Is it more on a citrusy? Is it more on the flower side? More on the vegetables? More on the fruit? What do you smell? Green apple? Apples. All right, that is one. Great. What else? Lime? Floral, a little bit. White floral. Is extremely elegant. Very, 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 very elegant. Alors here, we do have 30 to 40 years old vines. They are not super old. They use only 5% of oak during the 12 months of fermentation. One more time, they show you what is the focus from the winemaker, is the elegance and the finesse. 5% of oak, you don't even here test it. Don't forget, 2022, very warm, very warm weather. Okay, so very rich, but it has as well an incredible balance with the freshness and the acidity. Now let's go to test it. You feel the acidity? Is not an acidity that is aggressive. It's a very pleasant acidity. Okay, but you feel the freshness at the end. For a long time. As soon as I finish to swallow the wine, I still have the flavor after 6, 7, 8 seconds. That is a proof of quality. So the first one I wanted to show you what is done on a very north part of Burgundy. Very easy to understand Burgundy. For the white is only Chardonnay, and for all the other red wine will be only Pinot Noir. I believe is maybe the two most important points to understand Burgundy. After it becomes a little bit more complicated because due to the different soil, so many wineries as well, and we compare always Burgundy with Bordeaux. You do have about 6,000 winery in Chateau in Bordeaux and 3,200 in Burgundy. All right, but Bordeaux is 280,000 acres, so it's 4 times bigger than Burgundy. Okay, but they almost have half of the domain and chateau. So a lot of domain. People say sometimes it's a little bit too much. We will go back with that. Let's go to move slowly with the next one where we're going to Chassagne Montrachet. Alors as soon as we're going to we call that the golden triangle. All right, you have Puligny Montrachet, you have Chassagne Montrachet, and of course you do have Meursault. It's 3 small, tiny villages, but completely different. Even so, they use the same grape, but they don't have the same type of soil and not the same location and altitude as well. Alors that is another incredible winery, Jean-Marc Pilot. They have been making wine here for over 250 years. So when we talk about knowledge, They do have quite a lot. It's like the 5th generation of making wine. That is a completely different style of wine. All right, they use the same grapes, but here is completely different on the soil. Okay, there is a lot of clay here. So the clay gives a different nutrition to the vine, to the point that the vinification will be different as well. As I said, the first one, okay, he ferment and stay only 6 months in a 5% oak. Here, the wine going to age 16 months, all right? And it will be 20 to 30% oak. So there is definitely an increase. Why do they do that? Very simple. The structure of the wine is completely different. There is more body. There is a little bit more alcohol. And Jean-Marc Pilot, in this vineyard, has some of the vine between 50 to 100 years old. So is it an impact? Definitely. Older the vine going to be, deeper roots you're going to have, and they will get different type of mineral as a nutrition. Okay? Don't forget something. Older the vine going to be, less quantity the vine going to produce, but much higher quality. Okay? So here you are, very delicious. It is delicious, of course. All right. After you say that, please start to smell, looking at it and test it. Alors, when we did the selection of wine and I select this wine, it was challenging because basically what you do have here, guys, is everything that we have. You remember, and you're going to see that the average of domain, we don't say in Burgundy chateau. Chateau is only for Bordeaux. In Burgundy, we say domain. The average size in Burgundy per winery is 2.3 acres of vine. If you're going to Bordeaux, is 43. So when you do have an issue, we're talking about global warming everywhere in Europe, one of the regions who get hurt most of the time, every single year, is Burgundy. So when you have a very tiny domain and you do have some cold weather coming during the beginning of the season, you cannot produce anything. Alors, what do we have on the nose compared to the Chablis? Ah, now we toasted, yes, perfect, well said. What else? Butter? Vanilla. Who say vanilla? Very good. Why vanilla? And we keep going on a smell. Don't forget, a glass of wine such as Chablis or Chassagne-Montrachet, the wine, the scent, the flavor, the aroma of the wine can change 5, 10, 15, 20 times in 1 hour. Why? Because the glass is going to warm up naturally and some aroma going to come up more than at the beginning. Very mellow, smooth. One line, acidity, minerality, alcohol, only one line. Okay, when we refer to balance, that is when you talk about high quality of wine. And it could be a good quality of wine with more acidity and less minerality and a lot of alcohol. That is when the wine is aging, is not fully developed. But here is a 2023. I'm comparing Chablis and Chassagne. Both of them already at the early stage, they are already fantastic. already very, very rare. It's always something that is not going straight. Here, you do have all the ingredients at the perfection. Again and again, the temperature of the wine, it was a little bit colder than I was expecting, but I did that on purpose because we're going to talk about it at least for 20 minutes for the white. Alors when you see me doing that quite a lot is for two reasons. Number one, if it's a blind testing, and I don't know what I'm testing, and I'm trying to find out which vintage it is, you're going to have a lot of information on a glass. When I check like that and I see the tears or the legs, one of the two, okay, if it stay on a glass and slowing down very slowly, it means there is a lot of sugar. Mean what? It's a very warm, exactly, warm vintage. If I'm comparing the 2022 to the 2023, 22 was going down very, very, very fast, or I will say faster than the 23.
What do you mean going down? Going down, what do you mean?
Here. Yeah. Alors, I do have a lot of pleasure to smell the Chassagne Montrachet. I do have even more pleasure to test it. Alors now, we talk about young, correct? Here, there is a little, really small, tiny difference between what I'm smelling and what I'm testing on the Chassagne, more than the Chablis. So that it will be for me, oh, okay, if it's a blind testing, I will say that it must be a very young vintage because the nose gives me some very specific information that doesn't match yet with the test. When I'm in Chablis, the minerality going through the acidity, more minerality on a Chablis, definitely, and the test is very light and elegant. So right away I will think, here is not Meursault, is not Chassagne, is not Puligny, it must be Chablis.
When you're doing a blind tasting, can you tell between Chassagne Montrachet and Meursault?
Alors Chassagne, I will, yes, because Meursault and Chassagne will be completely different. So Chassagne will be here with a concentration, okay? Puligny here will be more feminine style, and Meursault will be a combination of Puligny and Chassagne. Again and again, we said that you have 3,200 different domains in Burgundy, all right? And let's go to take one example, Chassagne Montrachet, all right? So you are thinking that every Chassagne Montrachet that you're going to purchase will have exactly the same test. Okay, it's normal to think like that. It's the opposite. And that is where Burgundy becomes very, very difficult to understand. For me, a little bit too many winery using the big name of appellation, not necessarily the top quality for all of them. And I'm comparing to Bordeaux, the same size, an example, Chambertin, Burgundy, well known. And I'm going to take as an example a Bordeaux that you all know, Petrus. So both of them, they do have almost the same quantity of acres, 32 acres. Petrus, consistency from the first bottle to the last bottle produced is going to be always the same. In Chambertin, you have 80 different wineries. Do you think all the 80 will have exactly the same quality? No. In Burgundy, that you don't have in Bordeaux, you are allowed to sell juice from A, B, C, and D. In Bordeaux, you cannot. Your estate is your estate. In Burgundy, négoce, is called négoce. Okay, half of here can sell to the half of over there. So it's a little bit more tricky, but is it not what life is about, to have a little bit of like craziness? That is what Burgundy is about. So size-wise, 4 times smaller than Bordeaux. Production-wise, 22 million cases produced in Bordeaux, 3 million cases, 22 million cases produced in Burgundy, 70 million cases produced in Bordeaux. It's quite a lot, right? Grapes, Chardonnay, white, Pinot Noir, red. Bordeaux is mostly a blend, right? The location, one is a very southwest, right? Close to the ocean. You do have a huge forest to protect the left bank of Bordeaux against the frozen temperature that you may have during April and May. It happened. Burgundy, if the wind gets into it from the south to the north, it could be destroyed in 5 minutes. So different location. What else between them? I believe we're going to test the Volnay now. The Volnay, I want you to test it. Alors look at the color of the Volnay. Volnay supposed to be on the top right. Alors the Volnay that you do have here is basically coming from 2 different areas in Volnay. All right? So they select it. It's all about selection. Here the wine aged for 16 months and is a 30 to 40% oak. Again, the 30 to 40% oak is not necessary new oak. They don't do too much oak and new oak in Burgundy. Even so, they do, but much, much, much less than anywhere else. Because one more time, the focus of Burgundy or the Chardonnay or the Pinot Noir will be the finesse and elegance. If you use or overdo with oak, you will taste absolutely nothing. Okay? In fact, it's 10% of oak. 10% of oak here is almost nothing. 16 months standing still. They have been making wine Bis Touzy Prieur since the 1800. All right, so they do have a little bit of experience, I will say. Alors that is a very red food oriented. Another 2022 vintage, so very, very warm vintage. It's not fully developed on the nose. You have you do have the freshness of the yes, strawberry, raspberry, yes, normal type of aroma that you do have in your red wine, but that's it. Is still shy, okay? It's normal to be shy like that, especially for Volnay. I haven't seen any Volnay on the 2022 to be right away super developed, no, and I've been testing quite a lot. No, he's doing is normal. Now I'm going to see if he on the test is going to be the same. It could be close on the nose, that he will be normal if I compare to a white wine. White wine always shine more than a red wine, especially on the early stage. Okay, let's go to test it. Did you test it already? Ah, you're not waiting for me. Okay, I like that. Very easy. Even so, there is a structure, there is a concentration, but is a light concentration. There is nothing aggressive. Even the tannin, who makes the wine age for the long time, are extremely velvet. There's nothing really at the end who I'm going to say, oh my God, is very strong. No. exactly what you are looking for. We say that Volnay is kind of the princess of Burgundy. Okay, not the queen, but the princess. So very elegant, charming. It's a very charming wine, by the way. It is charming wine. Now, question could be, Olivier, how long this wine can age? That could be your first question. Second question could be, does it going to get better with a 5 to 10 years of age? Alors, number one, can this wine age? I will say yes. Are you going to improve? I will say between 20 to 30%. That's it. Now, what else from the same area could age for much longer and be better will be a Volnay Premier Cru. And I'm bringing now, why I'm bringing that is just to tell you, Volnay, they can pick up for these two specific areas. Why this one? Because it may be not the perfect location compared to a Premier Cru. It could be a young vine. So all on the freshness is perfectly fine. Okay? A Premier Cru will have more concentration. It will be a different location. So most of the time the southeast part where it gets more sun, and more sun, as I explained before, more sun, more sugar, more alcohol. Here is very, very, very light. Perfect for what they are looking for to make. I want to go right away with Alox Cortot, Les Valosières. Very difficult to say if you are not French, even when you are French. Valosières. And you're going to ask me, Olivier, what does it mean? And I will tell you, I have no idea. All, we call that climat, lieu-dit, depending where you're from, is a very old French, very old. And in Burgundy, they use that quite a lot. Alors, Alox Cortot is a 16. Why did I choose a 16? I wanted to see the evolution of a Pinot Noir. Okay, now we're talking about how many years? That is 9 years? 9 years, correct. 9 years for a Pinot Noir, for Burgundy. People will say is the beginning of a very unbelievable story. All right, so I didn't test it yet. You can see the color. Please look at the color. All right, very important. And when you look at the color, try to look when something is white like that. It's absolutely perfect. Try to bring, here you are, perfect, like that. Here you are. Why I'm trying to put as horizontal that I can like that is because I want to see the size of the color. You see the size of the color is a little bit orange. We call that onion peels. So what does it mean? The one is aging pretty well compared to the other one was purple, the Volnay. And if it's a blind testing, I'm going to say, oh, okay, this one has age. It will be a first indication because I'm looking first before I'm smelling, and after I smell, I test 1, 2, and 3. So I'm looking here, all right, I check it a little bit. I see the legs or the tears, whatever you want. There is pretty a lot. So I know, what does it mean? What does it mean? Warm weather, fantastic sugar. Okay, 2 indications here. Strong year, very warm, and some age. All right, let's go to smell it. Woo, right away. Okay, what do we smell here? Money. No money, no honey, baby. What do we smell here? Outside of the money.
Is there a trick to being able to smell it?
Ah, but yes, you can smell. What do you smell here?
You can never
took a course with 7 weeks and 10 wines each day, and I couldn't smell anything.
Is about training.
Dark fruits.
Dark fruit, yes, absolutely. What else? Dark fruit like what? Okay, dark fruit like prune. Prune, yes, prune. Prune, correct. Here we do have that. What else? Cherries, absolutely, good. We're getting there. Earth, yes, earth. That is typical of a 10 years old Burgundy. Absolutely, 100% right. Good. What else? I say smell, not test. If you test now, you're going to... Burgundy is 90% the smell, 10% test. And that is why I open a 16. Okay, I give you some tips here. Who like figs? Figs, you get it here? Figs. Smell, not test yet. Figs, you get it? Is it a little bit meaty, like a meat, smelling the meat? No? Okay.
But I was going to ask you, like, how can we train our olfactory senses to pick these things up?
Testing every day, every single day. Go to the school and drink again. Alors people say, okay, Olivier, should I decant a Burgundy? Never, ever in your life you will decant a Burgundy. It could be a fight for that in France. All right? We don't touch. You open the bottle of wine maybe 30 minutes before, perfectly fine. Use the perfect glassware, yes, and maybe the most important part, perfect temperature. Right, perfect temperature. Alors the sediment, if you do have sediment, again we can do a comparison Burgundy Bordeaux because of the level and quantity of tannin that you will have in the Cabernet Sauvignon. The sediment decantation makes sense. Pinot Noir, much less tannin, so much less sediment, so no decantation needed. Again and again and again is about finesse and elegance. A decantation will kill the finesse and the elegance.
So where is this wine in its life?
I didn't taste it yet, I just smell it. I'm coming. Okay, perfect, right away you feel it. When you taste it, the first thing coming in your mouth is what? Is it the sugar? Is it the acidity? Acidity, correct. Right, the acidity coming right away now. Right, and after that, right, you do have a little bit of body there. Right, so for me it's an indication. The acidity start to go up and the body just a touch down, right? If this wine will be able to age for 10 years, it should be the opposite. It should be the opposite, meaning feel more body with a little bit less acidity. It means the alcohol will be above the acidity, where it will be perfect fine to age, because after 5 years, both of them could be at the same time. Now, I do have more acidity than I do have alcohol. The acidity not going to go down. There is more acidity than the body of the wine. The body will be basically the structure of your wine is alcohol and tannin. Here is one dash down.
What are we looking for in the taste to say the alcohol?
Alors, is the structure of the wine, the body of the wine? The body is based on your alcohol and the tannin. Here is a soft tannin and one step down compared to the acidity. So for me is a little bit unbalanced if I want to age this wine. But it's perfectly fine if I want to drink the wine now. So to come back, this one is not to age, it's to enjoy now. Alors, very important, empty glass compared to full glass give you other aroma. I want you to, everyone who has an empty glass, smell it now. And you're going to tell me if you do have different aroma coming from the empty glasses.
I don't want to empty my glass.
That is well said. Yeah. Alors, do we have different
Dry fruit.
dry fruit? Dry fruit, perfect. We were not talking about dry fruit when you have the wine inside. And which one are we talking about?
That was the
Volnay?
Palosia.
Oh, okay, so the Alox Corto. Okay, dry fruit. Perfect. Dry food, exactly. I don't know if you use sherry, sweet sherry. Do you use sweet sherry to make your cocktail? Right? I love sweet sherry. Okay. I smell sweet sherry here. When you make a cocktail like a Manhattan, you put a little dash of Antica inside. Is exactly what I'm having here. So the dry fruit could go as well with the spiciness. Here you do have spiciness. Orange skin. You know, during the holidays, you do have this chocolate bar where inside you have the orange and it's all around the chocolate. You know what I'm talking about? I eat pound of that during. I'm dying just because of that. It's exactly what the smell of the orange chocolate here. What else?
Cigar.
Cigar. Oh my God. Yes. Cigar box. Perfect. We're getting there. Superbe. Superbe. Cigar, absolutely. So close to the cigar, everybody drink as a morning coffee, correct? Smell of the torrefaction here. A touch of coffee, toasted, roasted. It's changing and it's changing and it's still changing a lot again and again. Burgundy, 90% of the time is a smell. You can stay hours smelling and go from one glass to another one. Very rarely you see on a label the name of the grapes in a French wine. In fact, there is none. No. But it's a good question. In the US, you are more focused on the grape because 70% of the wine from the US coming from one specific area is California. So yes, Merlot, Cabernet, Zinfandel, you want to know what it is as a wine lover. But even so, some of the wines that we do have from Napa Valley, they say Cabernet Sauvignon, but by law, you have to have a minimum of 75%. It's not necessary, it's only Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a mix with other grapes too. So it's a between line. The same grape from north to south. The same grapes. It's a different taste for each individual one. Why? Different soil, different location, meaning southeast, southwest. Okay, and that's it. Climate, yes, there is a difference between north and south, definitely. Chablis, very cold. South of Burgundy is not warm, but it's definitely warmer than the. So that is the three major points of what is terroir. But the number one is the soil. Soil, and soil. The winemaking, to be honest with you, in Burgundy is not super important and is not important anywhere else in the world when it is quality. Quality comes from the vineyard, not from the winery. More human being touch, it means less quality in a vineyard. Shouldn't be touched. Perfectly done, temperature control, oak or no oak, according to the style that you want, and after it should be finished. But now, with all this global warming, one time is cold, one time is not cold, there is more stuff that you have to do. If it's too light vintage, do you need to have oak or no oak? The technology can forecast 2 weeks before, so they know when they have to harvest. Go back in Burgundy in early 70, 80. Quality was not super good. Absolutely not. Burgundy became to be very famous in early 90s. Before it was okay wine, but nothing compared to now. 90 a very big change. Technology, big name, big money. The most expensive bottle of wine in the world sold is from Burgundy. Domaine de la Romanée Conti, 1945.
So, have you had some?
I did test several times Romanée Conti.
So,
Yeah.
what makes it so
It's just unique because of the
versus this?
soil, terroir, that's it.
The taste. I mean, it's the
But the taste is unique. You test Romanée Conti, you do have, okay, you have 3 basically ingredients in your red wine, because it's a red. Domaine de la Romanée Conti is a vineyard. They have 8 crus, and inside of the crus there is Domaine de la Romanée Conti. Domaine de la Romanée Conti, okay, the 1945 has been sold over $600,000. One bottle.
That's an old
One bottle. Knowing $600,000. The wine has been sold 11 times. And originally, okay, 2 things. Okay, now we're starting to talk. 1945 was not a good vintage. For one specific reason, exactly, it was a war. So 39 to 45, it was no man who was in a vineyard and taking care of that. I will say first growth, Bordeaux, top Burgundy, and top Italy, 1, 2, and 3, all right? It has to be the top winery, best vintages. If you can, large size like Magnum, people love Magnum. It's always more expensive than regular bottles in general, not just I pay that $10 and 2 of that is 20. No, it doesn't exist. That is $10, but a Magnum will be 30. Okay, and you put that on the side for 10 years. Is a guarantee 50%, 60% after 10 years. If it's not more, but you need to have access. You need to have access. You need to have the money to do it. It's not simple. And the one who, it can have something happen in a wine cellar.
And then you have to try not to drink it.
You have to try to not drink it. You're right. But at least you have that in front of you. If one day you say, you know what, I stop everything, I open my wine, there is a pleasure. I believe the stock market, there is no pleasure because it's just number. At least you have the wine. One day you say, you know what, allez, I just drink and have. All right, just to let you know, the next wine tasting is next Friday. So we did Burgundy today, and next week will be Bordeaux. All right, so Bordeaux will be very. Alors, you go on Eventbrite or on our website. All right, so take whatever you need, guys. The free supermarket. Any question, please let me know. Yes.
These are souvenirs.
Go ahead, whatever you need. What do you need?
Souvenirs.
Souvenir?
Thank you for the class.
But no, I'm going to see you again, guys. You scare me. You scare me.